All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. So before we dive into these topics, do me a favor. If you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. And if you are new here to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button as well. We're starting here talking about more rumors regarding the Game Awards. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm actually starting to get pretty excited. I know that it's kind of a an agreement between most people that we just kind of keep low expectations or have no expectations whatsoever. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But considering what we're starting to hear, it really does seem like there are going to be some big things happening at the Game Awards. We're starting here with, I guess, the industry's most credible insider, that being Jason Schreier, where there has been some reporting going around over the last 24 hours that he is stating that there are two major announcements that he believes will make people go, holy crap, at the Game Awards. And this is, I think, pretty noteworthy because Jason Schreier is, frankly, the last person to really hype anything up ever, as far as I'm aware. And so where this comes from is he was talking, I think, on the Kinda Funny Games cast, and they were asking him, like, what should we expect for the Game Awards? Is there anything you can tell us? And he was saying that there are two big announcements that he did say these games may be years away. He seems to not know, like, how far out these games are going to be, but he knows what these announcements are going to be. And he also said that these games are probably going to be games that get the Kinda Funny crew excited. And the reason why I'm highlighting that is because the Kinda Funny crew, I think, is kind of known to be more, PlayStation centric and kind of lean more in that direction. They cover everything, but this has led a lot of people to believe that Jason Schreier is referring to some PlayStation related announcements. And again, he says that these announcements are going to make people go, holy crap. He did also confirm it's not Bloodborne. So that is the one thing he did say not to expect, which I think is good, because you know for a fact some people are expecting that. But to add more to this, we have Alex Coe, a MP First journalist, and he is teasing what he's calling tasty PlayStation news soon. He says got some tasty PlayStation news coming up within a day. So stay tuned to MP First. I'm not sure how credible this individual is, but we've been seeing this kind of snowball effect, right? Where it started with, I believe, a Middle Eastern journalist saying that he's now very excited for the Game Awards because there's going to be a generational defining game showing up. Not too long after that, we had a journalist from VGC saying, yeah, basically board the hype train. The Game Awards are going to be very exciting. Now we have Jason Schreier basically backing this up, saying there's going to be two major announcements. And now we have a journalist from MP First. So from what I gather, it seems like whether or not it's, actually Sony or PlayStation, who knows, but it seems like there's going to be some major reveals and announcements at the Game Awards. And I'll be honest, at this point in time, I'm going to allow myself to get excited because I really don't recall seeing this. I've seen people basically saying it's the same thing every year. We get caught in a hype cycle from made-up rumors, regarding the Game Awards, but I would say this year's actually a little bit different. I've been following the Game Awards year over year, and I have never seen this many journalists, especially somebody as credible as Jason Schreier, coming out and basically saying you should be excited. I have not seen that. So take that for what you will. I just want to say one more thing before I move on to the next topic, and that is that the number one studio that I'm seeing like thrown around here when it comes to PlayStation that people are thinking like they might actually show up is Naughty Dog. A lot of people are really thinking that Naughty Dog's next game, their new IP, is going to be revealed at the Game Awards, and people are looking at the fact that it's Jason Schreier saying there's going to be two major games, two major announcements. He does have pretty close connections with PlayStation Studios, specifically with people inside of Naughty Dog. So again, take that for what you will. I think it's totally fine if you still don't want to get excited, but I'm not going to lie, I can't help but feel pretty excited going into the Game Awards tomorrow. So I just had to record this in post, and I'm going to throw it into the video somewhere because Sony just announced that Astrobot is getting more free DLC over on the official PlayStation account on Twitter. They say, share some winter wonder with Astrobot, a new level filled with presents and special bots launches tomorrow. So it seems that Team Asobi is not quite done yet when it comes to dropping more free content for this game, which is awesome to see, but there you go. I didn't want to miss this and not be able to let you guys know. We're going to move on to the next topic here, which is nothing too significant, but just something I kind of want to highlight. Sony put out their annual upcoming games trailer. They do this every year, and this year it's highlighting upcoming games in 2025. They're basically showing you a compilation of titles that are going to release within the first half of 2025, although I will say there are 2 games that are featured within this trailer that we don't know if they're going to come within the first half of 2025. Those 2 games are Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2. But this is Sony, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, for the first time explicitly confirming that both Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2 are 2025. I think Ghost of Yotei was actually confirmed for 2025, but Death Stranding 2, I don't think Sony ever formally acknowledged that it's targeting a 2025 release. We kind of heard from Kojima that they were targeting that and whatnot, and they have a release date, but they didn't say what it is yet. So, again, nothing too major here, but it does seem like there are quite a few games launching within the first half of 2025, and, it'll be really interesting to see what other PlayStation titles are going to be added to this list on top of Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2. But we're moving to the final topic of the video, which actually talks about Xbox exclusives. We have an article from WCCF Tech. It says Microsoft's Xbox finally has a Game of the Year contender in a popular category such as action adventure with Indiana Jones and The Great Circle. It's a bit ironic that it launched a couple of weeks too late to be considered for the Game Awards show that goes live tomorrow. Regardless of that, Microsoft and all parties involved, Bethesda, Machine Games, Lucasfilm, are very happy about the great reception of the game. Speaking to Variety after the reviews hit, Xbox President of Game Content and Studios Matt Booty also discussed the exclusivity topic, suggesting that it will be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. Quote, "We are very much making the exclusivity and windowing decisions on a game-by-game basis, and each of our studios is in a little bit of a different position. There's also the production timeline on a game, so the decision on spacing comes there first. We want to make sure there's a great experience for our Xbox players, and then the gap between when it becomes available on PlayStation is as much a production decision as it is anything else. This is a game that was in production before we acquired Bethesda even." The article continues saying this sounded like a partial backtrack compared to when Microsoft gaming CEO Phil Spencer said that there are no red lines when it comes to Xbox exclusives being ported to other consoles. So there are a few reasons I wanted to cover this. The first being that I think it's very interesting that this seems to be the first time, as far as I'm aware, unless there's something I missed or forgot, that an Xbox executive just candidly talks about putting their games on PlayStation. I mean, insinuating that, yeah, our games are going to go to PlayStation. It's not necessarily surprising because we literally already saw them do that, and Indiana Jones is coming to PlayStation. But the part here where he says, and then the gap between when it becomes available on PlayStation is as much a production decision as it is anything else, that to me is interesting. He's name-dropping PlayStation in this interview. Make no mistake, these executives are heavily media trained. So he basically has gotten the green light that they can start doing this now. They can just start name-dropping PlayStation and talking about bringing their games to PlayStation, in interviews and not trying to really mince words here. Now, he does say that the exclusivity decision is on a game-by-game basis. I think that seems to me to be an attempt to insinuate that Indiana Jones, it coming to PlayStation a couple months later is a purposeful decision. I don't think that's the case. To me, it seems clear that Indiana Jones at the last minute was basically, it was decided that we're going to bring this to PlayStation, but it just wasn't ready to go on PlayStation. I think that, Machine Games probably needed a little bit more time to get it up and running and port it over to PlayStation, hence why it's coming literally just a couple months later. I think if they already had it up and running on PlayStation and it was optimized for PlayStation, it would have launched day and date on PlayStation. I have no doubt about that. But that is what he's saying. He's still saying it's going to be on a, game by game basis. So, it's worth noting, and this is the final thing I'll say, that's the same wording that Microsoft used back in 2021 when they first acquired Bethesda. They said a game by game basis. And from that point forward, games like Indiana Jones, oh yeah, it's going to be exclusive to Xbox. When Blade was announced, people assumed it was going to be exclusive. Starfield, it still is exclusive, but, it seems like at some point that may end up coming to PlayStation. The point I'm trying to get at here is that the wording they're using hasn't changed, but the way in which they operate has drastically changed. So I'm not so sure how much the game-by-game basis statement here holds weight, as much as he's just flat out name-dropping PlayStation and talking broadly about bringing their games to PlayStation. First, we hear Phil Spencer saying no red lines. Now we're hearing Matt Booty just straight up talking about, and then, when it becomes available on PlayStation, that should just be an assumption going forward. Very interesting stuff here. Just wanted to keep you guys in the loop. But that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.